The election of Donald Trump has created fear and uncertainty for millions of undocumented immigrants who arrived in the United States when they were young. Now, the president-elect's tough stance on immigration could mean the end of their dreams of living and working in Oklahoma, the only home many of them have ever known.
Illegal immigration was a cornerstone of Donald Trump's campaign during the presidential race.
Anyone who has entered the United States illegally is subject to deportation. That is what it means to have laws and to have a country.
That tough stance is troubling to people like Brisa Ledesma, who came to the United States from Mexico when she was a year old. She wasn't even aware she was an immigrant until she turned 16 and tried to get her driver's license.
I found out that I wasn't eligible because I didn't have a social security or a birth certificate that said I was born here in the United States.
Despite some difficulties getting financial aid, Brisa was able to earn a college degree, but thought as an undocumented immigrant with no work permit, she'd never be able to use it. That changed in 2012 when President Obama issued an executive order creating DACA, or Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, allowing undocumented immigrants who arrived in the country as children to work and study legally on a temporary basis.
If there's a young person here who has grown up here and wants to contribute to this society, wants to maybe start a business that will create jobs for other folks who are looking for work, that's the right thing to do.
Everything, I was like, this is really happening. I can't believe this is really happening. I'm actually going to have a chance to get a job and to actually pursue my dream.
Brisa says she wants to continue her education and eventually study law, but Trump's promise to undo DACA has put those hopes in jeopardy.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to continue after my permit expires here in the United States. I love my job, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to have it after next year. I'm not sure what's going to happen with me anymore.
Those fears are shared by thousands of others in Oklahoma, like Jordan Mazariegos, the president of the Tulsa chapter of Dream Act Oklahoma, who, like Brisa, has benefited from DACA.
As a senior at OSU, I have offers from employers now with my career job, with my career, and this is definitely something that is affecting my future.
Jordan and several hundred others attended a forum this week in Tulsa which addressed the concerns of undocumented immigrants. Laura Bachman with the Tulsa Hispanic Affairs Commission, which organized the forum, told those in attendance if they haven't already applied for DACA, she would advise against doing so in the current climate of uncertainty.
Well, the policy right now has always been that applications for benefits are not used for enforcement. Unfortunately, we cannot say that that will continue to be the policy under President-elect Trump.
Bachman says there is a lot of fear right now within the Hispanic community.
Not just fear for those who are undocumented. We're seeing fear from immigrants who are U.S. citizens. We are seeing fear from immigrants who are lawful permanent residents. And that fear comes from the divisive nature of President-elect Trump's entire anti-immigrant rhetoric.
Laura, who also works as an immigration attorney, says she's had families who've come to her for legal advice tell her their children are now suffering intimidation at school.
They're being bullied. They're being told, hey, have you packed your bags? Have your parents packed their bags? Too bad we won't see you at school after Christmas. You know, things that are extremely hurtful for a child to hear from his own peers.
According to the Pew Research Center, Oklahoma has about 95,000 unauthorized residents. Immigration attorney Melissa Lujan says those undocumented immigrants make a significant financial contribution to the state.
Many of them work jobs where taxes are taken out of their checks. Many of them have gotten ITN numbers, tax ID numbers, to file taxes because they want to do the right thing. And then, of course, they all pay sales taxes and things of that nature. So absolutely, there is a huge contribution to the tax system.
According to a report from the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy, undocumented immigrants in Oklahoma pay more than $77 million in state and local taxes annually. Lujan says if DACA is overturned, the state will lose much of that revenue as workers are driven underground.
The hard thing is they'll go back to living in the shadows, working for themselves or working as subcontractors, cleaning houses, doing restaurant work, doing construction, those kind of things.
Brisa Ledesma isn't sure yet what she'll do if DACA is overturned, but insists Oklahoma will always be her home.
I may not have been born here, but this is my country because I was raised here and I hold it dear to my heart.